Hello. Okay, who's ready to paint an eastern screech owl in watercolor? I meant to clean this up and I did not. Oh, whoops, wrong one. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, let's get you on here. Okay, now I can see. Let me turn the sound off. One of these days I'll remember to do that before I start this thing. Okay. It's a bit chilly. I'm outside. I hear a red-bellied woodpecker in the background. He's a loud little booger. I heard a northern flicker woodpecker a while ago. Maybe he'll come back. We'll see. Also, if you hear any other noises, it might be one of the dogs that I'm pet sitting. That's okay. He tends to pop up every once in a while for attention. Let's see, I want my 5-0. What I've done here is I've sketched out an eastern screech owl, and he is sitting in the hole of a tree, kind of popping out. I'm assuming he has a nest in there. He, she. Not sure if it's a he or she. Looks like a red morph, maybe. They come in a dark color and a lighter color. The lighter color is called the red morph, and the darker color is called the dark morph. I'm seeing a little bit of both in my reference photo. The reference photo itself, oops, what am I doing? That's not what I wanted. The reference photo itself came from Free Reference Photos for Artists, and I have linked this in the description below the video. I don't know if you can get that now, or if, let's look. Oh, yes, you can. So it is linked. The Facebook group for those are linked. I can't show you the reference photo because one of the copyright conditions is that we only show our artwork from these photos. We cannot show the original photos without, what am I saying? Without authorization from the photographer. And I will try to have that for you the next time I pop on. I don't remember the name of the photographer at the moment. But if you search in Free Reference Photos for Artists, and search owls or screech owl, you'll get this image. As it comes up, you'll start seeing it here. So I've added a little more detail in my sketch than I normally do. And that is for you to kind of see my thought process. I usually put in most of the detail around the face, or at least the eyes. And I usually have, maybe for this owl, I will put just a few things on there. But I normally will not put all this detail in the tree and around the bird. And the reason for that is I prefer not to have the graphite mixing with my watercolor. It's just my preference. You can do it however you like. We're not going to judge here. But I just prefer less watercolor. I prefer drawing with my pencil, my brushes rather than my pencil. But I do use a little pencil guide and sketch to make sure usually when I'm gonna sketch something, it's to get the sharp details around the eyes so that I don't mess those up. And sometimes for perspective, I like to make sure I have my perspective straight. If there's something that looks a little different in like the direction of fur or feathers, I will also at least put a few marks to show me the direction so that when I get lost in the painting and forget to look at my reference photo, I have it, which happens to me a lot. let's see. I do get lost in it, and that's okay, because the objective is not to copy the reference photo 100%. It's to just give me the details I need to make sure that I am painting the identifying marks of these little critters. I like to make sure that people who see my artwork can identify what they're seeing. And I'm not talking just the average Joe Blow that says this is an owl. I also like people who specialize, ornithologists and herpologists and all those ologists and naturalists who pride themselves on knowing the different wildlife. It's usually part of their job, that they can also understand what it is they're looking at. So down to the species level, I try. I'm not going to say I'm perfect in that, but I do give it a good go. Okay, I'm just putting in, for this base layer for this guy is going to be the darker marks. I'm putting in the areas that I know are dark. Let's see here. Following along some of my pencil lines here. And one thing about wildlife is it doesn't need to be perfect because they all vary a little. Okay, we're gonna have a foot here. So let's go here, over here. Okay. You're starting to be able to tell where the owl is here. Now this is going to take me a couple of days, 2 to 3 days to complete. So feel free to join me. Most of it will be right here because I am trying to learn the ins and outs of this, of recording on YouTube. Okay, let's get around this eye here. I've circled where I want some of my highlights. After the first of the year, you won't see me on quite as much. I'm using the holiday season to paint a new line of artwork and to learn YouTube. Holiday season is perfect for me to paint because I've spent the summer preparing my online shops. All I have to do is order fulfillment, which for paintings is not that bad. Okay, I'm going in. We will see a lot of burnt sienna because this is a red morph. I've got burnt sienna, sepia, and burnt umber here. And if you refer back to the videos I did the past few days, you'll know that the names of the colors are not important. What's important is having cool and warm shades of red, yellow, and blue. All these reds, these yellows and blues, because those are what we're going to mix. And when I get over here in a minute, you'll even see me mix some of the black. What am I doing? Because I like to mix my own black. And when I mix, as I've mentioned before, I do not like to mix too much. I like the color to vary. When we're painting, mixing all the same colors and painting with the same color without changing it will create a very flat painting, even if you add the highlights and things in. So I like to mix it up. When we look at things, light hits it. And changes colors and makes them appear different even though it's the same color. Okay. Now as you can see, the sepia is a little oranger than I was hoping, but I'm not hoping. More, it's brighter than what I needed for this, but I will, in the layers, we're just getting the foundation layer down here. There's an ear. Whoops, here comes one of the puppies, if you can hear his feet. He likes to come out and see me and make sure I haven't disappeared. He also likes to get attention. So we're not going to pay attention at the moment because that'll draw him in. Well, yeah, hear the whining. He wants some loving. As soon as I get off, buddy. Okay. Now you always want to paint in the direction that your artwork is going to appear, or I'm sorry, in the direction of the feathers. And the reason for that is even though this is a base layer and we probably won't see most of it, there he goes. By painting in the base layer in the direction, if any of it shows through, it just falls right in there. I'm going to mix these two for the head here. Let's see. What do I want to do? This one. And somebody must be walking the neighbor's dog outside. Has his attention. I'll stop in a minute. I can't avoid having the dog sound on my YouTube videos because I pets it a lot. It gets me out of the house and in other areas that I might not normally be at for painting. So we're just going to have to live with the barking. It'll go away in a minute. Okay, now this doesn't have to be precise at the moment any either. Because a lot of this is going to get covered up. Let's see, the beak is very blush colored. Let's see, I did. Okay. Archer. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Well, that didn't work. Archer, come here, boy. He doesn't usually bark so much. No, it's just because the neighbors' dogs are out there. Yes, buddy, it's okay. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. No, Archer. It's all right. Yeah, you need to go rest somewhere. He said no. Okay, I'm just going to mix up my browns here a little bit. Come up with some different shades. And we have I've switched to a rigger brush. My brushes, I like Princeton Aqua Elite, but I haven't purchased a lot of them yet, just the small detail brushes. I'm hoping to extend that because I really love, add to my collection. I really love the way they hold the paint in the water, so I don't have to keep going back so much. Oh, I hear what he's upset with. There are mowers in the area. Can you hear them? So what I may have to do is come back later and work on this because it's just going to be too much noise to deal with right now. So we'll come back, give them an hour or so. We'll come back and paint a little more. I've got the basics of the owl in there. But I'm going to give you a break from the noise and we will return in a little bit.